Donald Trump has instantly folded on his threat that he would be charging 20% to all vessels exiting the Strait of Hormuz for United States protection when he fraudulently claimed that the United States now controls the Strait of Hormuz, which the United States does not. Here's what Donald Trump posted. He said, "We will not be charging the 20% fee. Instead, we will be bringing in more investments in addition to the $19.1 trillion we've already seen." Again, that number is totally false and fabricated. We're getting additional investment now from Arab nations and others, so that's what we will accept instead of the 20%. This is all just some bizarre cosplay fiction with deadly consequences as war continues to escalate. And there are strikes happening right now. Iran is striking the United States military interest in the region. The U.S. is striking Iran. The war continues to escalate. And the delusional, demented creature in the Oval Office is posting the following: "Oil is flowing like never before." That's absolutely false. We are depleting our strategic reserves right now, and there's far less oil flowing than ever before. He goes on to praise Hegseth and the CENTCOM commander Brad Cooper, and then he says, "The Strait of Hormuz is open to all ship traffic except Iran. We will therefore have a full blockade as it relates to Iran." And Iran has made it clear, if you do a full blockade, we will also consider shutting down the Bab al-Mandeb Strait in the Red Sea. So pay attention to that as well. Then Donald Trump writes, "Based on a highly productive conversation with Middle East leadership, I have decided to replace the 20% United States reimbursement fee with trade and investment deals that the various Gulf states will be making into the United States. Those investments will be massive, but at the same time, extraordinarily good for them and their future. As everyone is aware, we have the largest dollar investment into the United States of any country in history, but these new investments will make that number even larger." And again, completely false and fabricated. Donald Trump then posts an AI image of the United States conquering Greenland and Venezuela and Canada and basically all of the Western Hemisphere. He posts this photo. He did take a photo back in 2025 with these European leaders, but the true image was a photo of Ukraine and Russia. But now, July 14th, 2026, he's posting an AI manipulated image as though he's talking to European world leaders about conquering Greenland. Here's the accurate photo. And then Donald Trump continues to post bizarre things from like March. He posted this morning. Exclusive. Israel's foreign minister praises Trump's remarkable leadership. It's March 8th of 2026. Or how about Donald Trump posting this? Trump claims military victory, points to economic progress in the wake of the first stage Iran deal. First stage Iran deal. As I am recording this, there are strikes taking place. The U.S. is striking Iran. Iran is striking U.S. interest in the region. And so Trump is posting an article from June 23rd, 2026, talking about how successful the Iran deal is when the deal really never existed, but certainly no longer exists right now. He also posts this right here. Trump visits Mack truck plant in Battleground, Pennsylvania district to tout economic agenda. That was a trip back in June. Why is he posting this morning? Now, there was a pretty decent inflation report where, because there was a temporary pause in this catastrophic and unlawful war, inflation went down, actually, and that should be a good thing. But now he's escalated this war and he's going to bring the inflation back up. Inflation cooled more than expected in June. U.S. inflation was 3.5% year over year in June, down from 4.2% in May. This was the biggest one-month decline since April 2020. Now, before praising this, first of all, anything when inflation goes down, we should objectively say that's good. Now, Trump's the arsonist, though, who caused it to go up when Biden handed over the baton to Trump, inflation was at 3%. Trump brought it up to 4.2%, and it was going up and up and up. And now the reason it's going down is because there was the temporary memorandum of understanding, but now it's going to be going back up because Donald Trump has escalated. And as you know, what you're paying at the pump right now is more. And we're heading to $4 a gallon right now. And by the way, Trump had to put out his regime stooges like Kevin Hassett, and they were supposed to, talk about, look, we got a good inflation reading. But then they were asked questions like, yeah, but right now everything's going back up again because Trump escalated this catastrophic war. And Kevin Hassett's like, well, we were going to be doing good. Things were going in the right direction, but now we're going to be taking another detour, but don't worry. Hope is right around the corner. Don't you worry. In many ways too, the way this Trump regime engages in this psychological torture based on Donald Trump's erratic behavior, it almost makes things even worse than if you basically just continue to have inflation surge and go up and up and up, which we don't want, because, there'll be just this little glimmer of hope because American ingenuity, because the American people, the American worker, Americans are able to accomplish a lot. But Donald Trump keeps getting in everybody's way. If you just got this guy out of the way, people would be able to create and produce things and work hard and love this country. And he's the problem right now more than anything. And so, it's like could things go good? Nope. Escalate the war. We're going to make it worse. This is what Kevin Hassett had to say moments ago. He's Trump's top national economic advisor. Play this clip.
The administration has said they'd like to get gas prices down to about $3 a gallon. Is that still realistic? Is that the plan still?
It's absolutely realistic, and we were headed pretty much there on a straight line. But now there's a hiccup again because the Iranians, who again, it's so obvious that this was the right policy, that the Iranians were dead set on destroying America. Death to America was one of the things they were saying everywhere time they had a rally. And even at a somber event like a funeral, they were screaming and putting up signs, death to Trump. These are people very, very dangerous. President Trump wasn't going to let them have a nuclear weapon. And so in the long run, the world will be safer, gas prices will be lower, and it'll be worth the short run cost.
And then the Trump regime put on these stooges like Cynthia Loomis, a MAGA Republican senator from Wyoming, and she was just like, and just like totally lying. She's like, we should all be okay and happy with Donald Trump making billions of dollars on crypto because all of the money he made was before he got into office. And that's when he got rich. So why would we? It's just like, what are you talking about? Like, do you not know the most basic facts here? Are you that dense or that malicious or both? All of the crypto holdings, those 21,000 stock trades, the quid pro quos, it happened after the election. It happened after he was in office. Why lie so stupidly and maliciously? Here, let's play this clip.
When we finally come to the language that both the Congress can live with and the White House can live with, I think it's going to be a decent balance and something fair. Maria, we can't just legislate for one person. The president made his money on digital assets before he took the oath of office. So we have to make sure that people, when they are private citizens, can retain their rights to make money and use their intellectual prowess to make money in this country. That's not wrong. In fact, that's kind of the great American capitalist premise.
Iran's also has released footage showing the damage that's been caused to these U.S. military bases in the region. You can see over here some of these photos that they were released. Radar and command control of U.S. Army drones in Kuwait, the Ali al-Salam base there. Iran was able to strike those the other day. U.S. military shed an Al Udeid air base in Qatar, a drone hangar in Jufar in the 5th Fleet of the United States base in Bahrain. What's notable to me as well is that there have been lots of strikes in Bahrain happening, and you're able to hear the sirens in Kuwait, but those early warning detections in Bahrain seem like they may have been targeted successfully by Iran, stopping the early warning signals. Now, I also want to point out this morning, hat tip to Joe Flood for capturing these incredible images. And Joe does incredible work. Take a look right here. This is what the reflecting pool looked like this morning now that it's been drained. Here's what Joe says. The reflecting pool is empty now, and there is no 300-yard long gash that's been peeled up. That line running down the middle is for drainage. And that was there before. Remember, Donald Trump was like, there was a 250-foot long gash. Then he changed the number to a 300-yard long gash. 300 yards, a 3 football field long gash. Do you think that would be, obviously we know Trump is making all this up. Is he talking about the drainage that's in the middle right there? And by the way, as we said on the MeidasTouch account, what happened to all the blue paint? What happened is they poured in all the hydrogen peroxide, and the way they did this with the shoddy work, and by the way, they brought in the same contractors yet again, destroyed the whole thing. So that's what's happening this morning. We know that there are strikes taking place right now. I want to devote a whole other video to talking about what's going on. We know that the U.S. has hit naval bases in Bushehr. Explosions are being heard in Qeshm Island, and Iran is now striking Kuwait and Bahrain. So we'll get there and we'll cover all of that. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.